So if you're watching this video, you probably just came from either my blog or vlog, which I described exactly what I was doing making this chair for a project that I do for my Art 110 class. And in that video, I didn't have time to describe the full process, like actually step by step on what I did to make said chair. And so that's what I'm doing right now, and this is a time lapse of what I did in the program SketchUp to make this chair. And so this is actually sped up 400% the original speed because it took me about 45 minutes, and that's not time any of us have. And so if you want to see that, that's like, I guess, kind of a tutorial on what to do, then enjoy. Okay, so here I'm just starting at the SketchUp application. I'm just basically trying to figure out what I'm going to do. This is the chair I used as the model for the make, and basically just figured out that I wanted a square as a base or a top or whatever. And I'm currently trying to figure out how to make that into a pyramid shape. And ended up using the move tool, made that a pyramid, as you can see. I believe that is a 4x4 square base, and then it's 3 feet deep. I just found out that it was hollow, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn it upside down. Wasn't working very well. So I just kind of moved it inside out instead and worked with that from there. Just measurements. We're gonna, I believe that is 30 feet deep. So I just made a replica of that pyramid shape to try to make the inside portion of it. And I'm trying to figure out how to scale that and fit it inside that. And so I just deleted the front face and trying to put it in there. Had much difficulties trying to figure out this kind of 3D aspect because it would look correct one way and then the other way it would look crazy. So right now I'm just showing, like, I'm trying to make the cushion in the inside layer and everything. So this is my first time trying to connect it and not knowing what to do with the pen. Connecting it did not work. Just trying to make it move in correctly, and then trying to figure out what I'm doing with that shape even. And this thing can be very tricky at times, getting latched onto other objects or surfaces, and it's just, I had a lot of complications with this. I didn't even know where I was moving it at this point. So I think that was one of my biggest struggles, was just trying to fit this in. So I just tried to instead delete that and then make another pyramid inside of it. So that's how I did that. And I was trying to make the flat base like you saw in the previous one. I was kind of trying to cut that off, and that kind of wasn't working. So what I'm trying to do now is just make it a half foot up and use those guidelines from that measure and just make a little box there and try to delete that. And I got it, so there's the flat base. And then I moved it down, and there's the shape I wanted, as you can see. So now with this, I believe I was trying to make the cushion part by just making that kind of square. And there we go, and I have that little bottom pyramid. I'm gonna consider that the cushion. And then I'm just putting kind of the extra depth to it to see like that chair example was. And just fill that in. Like I said, this 3D depth was not my favorite thing. Had many a problem with it. So here I have all the depth in and everything, and I'm trying to just figure out and get rid of some of the extra lines just to make it cleaner and what they call healing the surface. So here, and right now I'm just trying to figure out how to like make that edge flat. I think I'm doing it right now. I had quite a process with this chair, really. I'm just trying to figure out how to fill this chair in. Because right now, as you can see, that's a hollow kind of view right next to it. And I just can't figure it out for the life of me how to fill that in. And I still don't understand why that side wasn't filling in like the other side did. And I'm making a rectangle that didn't work. Just nothing was working for me, really. Like I said, it gets really tricky sticking out other things, and it's just not fun. Just trying to make it flat again. And I was just having quite a time trying to figure out how to make it solid. And like you can see, that little triangle is solid, and so I just started to get little ideas from that. And you can see I'm just slowly making other things solid. And that's just showing you that that's the cushion. I'm just trying to define that instead of all the other shapes next to it. So I decided I was onto something with that. But then I decided I did not like it. I just had a hard time with all of this, really. Just pushed too far forward and then pushed too far back, and I messed everything up many a times. And I just lost the whole side. I had no clue what I was doing, really. Still have no idea how I'm gonna fill that in. So I just decided I was going to go back to my original plan and just try filling it in with triangles, it looks like, even though, like I said many a time, the 3D aspect was the hardest part for me. I could not figure it out. So I tried rotating it to fit that and just messed everything up again. Had no idea what I was doing. I was just spinning that for fun then. I can't even move it, push pull it. I can't do anything at that point. I was just lost. So that's pretty much what my biggest struggle was at that point, trying to figure out how I was going to fill that in just so it would be aesthetically pleasing, really. I think I just decided to just go with it and do that little triangle thing and just give up, really. So I just really wanted that flat surface. So that's what I was working towards. As you can see, I have my surface is now completely covered, it looks like. And I just wanted to make my cushion there again, so there's my cushion. And I just want to show kind of like what the inside of it looked like. That was interesting. I'm just trying to find another color. Ended up making all of it gray. So that's most of my chair. And I decided it'd be pretty cool if I made a little steps or something for it. So that's what I was working towards. I decided I wanted more than one step and was trying to figure out how I was going to make steps. So I believe I made it a half a foot deep. And I just kind of tried to continue making steps. I think they were like 0.3 feet deep or something, I don't know. I was just having quite a time with this. And I think one final last step. There we are, those are my steps. I tried to make the cushion a little bigger and that didn't happen. So I just wanted again to heal the surface, get rid of all those lines. I decided to paint those navy. And there we are, there's my chair. Ended up kind of looking like one of the chairs from The Voice. There it is.